Hello, hello. Alright, let's see if that works. It's actually moving, so should be good to go now. I usually check that before every stream, and I just got so, turn the volume down a touch. Yeah, I fixed it on OBS. So, I usually check that before I go live every single time. It's like the first thing that I check as soon as I bring up OBS. And I've just gotten so used to it. I mean, I've streamed, geez, how many times now? And that's not been an issue for a year. Like, every time I check it, and it's never an issue. And so I just got lazy about it. So that's my fault. The one time I didn't check it, it was broken for no reason at all. OBS didn't change. My mic setup didn't. Nothing changed at all. But, so yeah. I hope that the lip readers enjoyed the first portion of the show. Yeah, I remember what I was saying. What I was basically doing, I was letting you guys know, streaming at an unusual time, trying to keep up that thing where we're trying to stream at different times, make allowances for different audiences, but also was setting up the philosophies here in my office. So I went with a little bit of a deeper bench. I picked up the offensive pace, picked up just the intensity across the board, because we're moving to a point where this team's really deep. There's really talent at almost every position. We need a little bit more depth here at guard, but we're gaining depth at every position. And so what I'm trying to do with that philosophy is set myself up to take advantage of the talent disparity that we're going to start seeing here real soon. We're speeding up the offensive pace. We've got better players. So if if the pace is faster, we're shooting more. We're taking advantage of our more talented players. We're going to press more. We're going to play more intense defense. And so, if we get in foul trouble, if we get tired, we've got substitutes. We've got backups. So this is how we start ramping up. And I know some of you guys have seen the Let's Plays where I'm just thrashing people by like 30 a game and, going undefeated and all that good stuff. This is how we start to do it. We're definitely not there yet, but this is how we start to do it. These philosophies are pretty much what I'll stick with at this point. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to deepen the bench or not. I don't know how. One of the things I don't know is how much this player rotation bar in comparison to your actual depth chart over here. I don't know which one has priority, I guess. We can let AI suggest everything here for now and then come back in and take a look at it before we get going. But I actually like that for the most part, except for Tice is definitely the starter. Ivan Ross all the way down. Nah, Ivan Ross is a little bit higher. Ivan Ross is actually way up there. We can go ahead and just finish it. Edwards gonna be there. Steele, Bayless, Prado. Yeah, that looks good. We'll bump Barnes up. Suggest a matrix. That should be good. Ooh. All right, now I do not care for Dieter playing 40 minutes a game. Do we really not have any other guard? Okay, so you would think that the AI would figure this out. It did not, unfortunately. Yeah, let's see how that works. Alright, so we got our depth chart set up. Good to go for the season. Got our philosophy set up. Now we're just banging right on into recruiting. It's June 26th, baby. Let's get it. Tonight we're going to get through the whole season. All the recruiting. We'll get through the entirety of the actual season, and we'll see what happens. This ought to be good. So, like, this year, I know I do, like, the 10 at each position and just see what's happening. Like, I cannot justify that this year. I've got 6 players on scholarship at power forward and center, and none of them are graduating. None of them are leaving. Like, I just can't look inside this year at all. Can't do it. So we'll go about 10, 12 deep, or 12, 15 deep on these other positions and see what happens. What I will still do is add like a handful of the top guys. If they're, oh, point guards ran out quick. I will add in like a handful of the top guys in case we get like an Indy MVP elite, something like that. Right, point guards, only 7 of them better than 2 stars. So maybe it's a bad year to need not big men. We'll find out. Shooting guard definitely looking deeper. Not looking for JUCOs. Maybe check one more page. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Young Vaca. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, if you can bring in, once you get to this point, the other big thing is you start bringing in that Indy MVP Elite, Indy Elite MVP, or you start bringing in the top 5 guys from Indy Elite, and it starts making a big difference. I mean, maybe only one of them a year, something like that. Kind of, gosh, small forward, super shallow as well. That's a JUCO. That's a JUCO. I mean, at least there's a couple of 3-star guys to throw on a list, but yikes. Is all the talent big men this year? The year we don't need it? Oh, my God. Look how many good power forwards there are. This is absurd. I mean, I just grabbed 10, and there's still 2 more in the top 50. What's center look like? Same nonsense? All right, so, sometimes you got to balance need with what's available, and this year there's nothing but big men available. So we'll add them to the list. I didn't intend to do it, obviously, but there's just no way around it. It's a super deep year on the inside. All of this talent, center, power forward, crazy. So we will definitely focus on the guards and the outside. But there's a lot of talent in there. So if that's what we end up with, that's what we end up with. I'll bring in talent and I'll play it anywhere. Maybe we bring in a power forward, slide him over to the 3. Who knows? We'll see what happens. What is up, Blazer Taz? Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you too, buddy. We had our day of CBGM where we were trying to work on some stuff, and I was just jonesing for some good old-fashioned college basketball. So here we go. So we got our first round of visits. Ross Jackson liked it. He's already warm. Good to see there. See what these camps look like and go from there. All right, so even though he went warm, it wasn't an amazing visit. But he is the Indy Elite MVP. So we brought in 3 players for the first week in-home visits, and one of them is the best player in the country. And the other 4 are power forwards and centers. So Ross Jackson immediately is whether you base it on interest, base it on need, or base it on camp performance, any way you look at it, Ross Jackson is our very first, most obvious target. So there's no reason to even waste time. You just make that offer. No reason not to. Oh, yeah. So Axe says he doesn't usually get to watch live, but he's doing some dog sitting, so he's tuning in tonight. Glad to have you, buddy. I try to stream at different times so that everybody can catch one here and there. But sometimes it's just circumstance too. So regardless of what brought you here, glad to have you. I'm super pumped to get this episode out tonight. Try to stick with some of these. God, man, it's nothing but big men on this page. Yikes. But yeah, always glad to have new people. And it just sucks. I really did not want a big man this year. We've got already more than enough. I'd prefer to have 5 big men, 5 guards, and 3 small forwards. Ideally. I've already got 6 big men, and now this is the year of the tall guys for whatever reason. And, whatever. Let's call up Ross Jackson, clear out these interest areas, see what we got going on. Yo, my recruiting ought to be at 100. So don't be hanging up on me or not at. Ooh, top 3? Where are we at on his list? So, yeah, we're number 3 on his list. So, in addition to already going warm, number 3 on his list. So, that's looking good. He's most interested in prestige. I think even being a little bit lower, we still should beat out Syracuse and Pitt. So, feeling pretty good about it. Yeah, random tasks. We're trying to late sim. Just trying a little bit of everything. Like I said earlier, I was jonesing a little bit since we didn't get a CBGM advance. Life worked out, and I thought I'd go up late tonight. A little bit of Saturday night action, see what's happening. All right, so we've already got our offer out to Ross Jackson. Ross Jackson is a one-and-done type of player. And what we really realistically could do here, because, the rest of our team is fairly young. We're not losing anybody. So, we could just add another one-and-done guy and really compete for something serious next year. So when that's the case, the first thing I want to do is go and look at Indy Elite. So, Southeast, what is that? What is ME, Maine? I think that's Maine. So, is Eric Williams? We'll host him and scout him. He's on our list, so... Yeah, there he is. So yeah, he's in region. So we go out and grab Ross Jackson and Eric Williams, and next year it's just a dominant performance, right? So let's see what happens there. We can go on and host and live scout. We want to clear these pitch areas. Excuse me. So yeah, we're just gonna go all in and see if we can't make a national championship run happen next year. Why not, right? Random task can't hang out. Well, I'm glad you stopped by. Glad you jumped in chat. But completely understandable. We do different times knowing that people are available at different times. So I know you're usually with us. Bad time for you. So hopefully we'll catch some other people that don't get to watch as many streams, don't get to show up live with us as often. What is up? Breeze is in the chat. What's going on, my man? All right, sim through this recruiting period, see what we got going on as far as interest. Already got that offer out to Ross. Who else is? Oh, Eric Williams already went warm. That might just be our other guy. Those might be. Oh, he's hot on Georgetown though. All right. Ross Jackson is an obvious go after him. For the second one, we might wait until August 21st when we see how these lists rearrange themselves. For now, let's just get home visits in on as many. We got $75,000 in the budget. That's going nowhere. We're in dead period. Let's just get to hosting, bring as many of these guys in as possible, see who's interested, and then see who's the absolute best player that we can possibly get when it comes time to offer. Allow them some time to go through these regional camps. Some of these top players don't go to the regional camps, but the ones that do, it's nice to see them come out as an MVP on the other side, So, okay, just the indie camp wasn't any kind of illusion. This is legit a serious dude. Loving the series. Jay Slim, loving having you in here, buddy. Glad to have you in here. I'm loving the series too. I'm having an absolute blast. It's exciting to finally be at a school that's got a budget, be able to stretch out, show you how even on the brutal recruiting, how you can just absolutely, create a powerhouse and dominate. And we're getting really, really close to that point. I don't think you'll see it tonight, but you're seeing how it evolves into that. And then, from here, we'll just play it by ear. We'll see what people are interested in watching. I was just making sure we had all his interest things opened up. My feeling is that's probably where our other scholarship offer is going to go tonight. But yeah, I mean, if we just want to dominate and win by 30 every game for a couple of years, we can do that. If people want to see me go back to a smaller school and do something different, we can mix it up. But that's probably, a month and a half, 2 months away. For now, we're gonna stick with these Tar Heels a little bit, do a couple things, win 2 or 3 titles. See, oh, look at that! Eddie Mouton went hot straight away. He had an amazing. I assume he had an amazing visit, but he didn't stand out at Indy. So a lot of times, you'll actually see that if you pay attention. These chumps who aren't that great, they get real interested in your schools real quick. I should probably purge the lists, right? Top 25. Wait, yeah, we got all the, Alright, so these decent, not spectacular, the regional camp guys, we're going to start cutting them out. So here's an example, and some people were talking on Discord, the GM Games Discord today in our CBGM League. People were talking about high-rated recruits that showed up, and they were terrible, and they didn't know why. 5-star guy, averaging 19 points a game in high school, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, looks great all across the board. Didn't stand out at Indy, decent, not spectacular at the Big Apple. This dude is a bust, and you got to be able to see that and let these guys go. I've brought him in before. I know what you're thinking. It's like, look, I mean, the stats are good, the rating's good, he's 5 stars. Like, he can't be that bad. He's a bust. He's got good potential. He'll come into your school, be terrible, and then declare early. And so even though he has good potential, you're never going to realize it at your school. You got to let these guys go. I mean, this guy, he could be the last guy on the board, and I would take a 1-star that I had no idea about. He's a bust. Don't go for guys like that. All that being said, I took him off the list, right? Yes, I did. Cool. All right, top 25 at Indy. Good to go, good to go. What we got here? Decent, not spectacular. No. we're moving on past the decents. Bought the game because of the streams. Jason, that's awesome, dude. I told Chris when I very first started streaming this, like over a year ago, the only thing that I wanted to do was like grow this like game simming community, like let people know, because I didn't know for so long. These games were out there and they're awesome, and I had no idea about them. So I wish that I'd known about them sooner. So I was like, well, I'm just going to start streaming it and let other people know about it. Because, like, who knows, like, how many other people are out there that would be into something like this and just, is this my call watch list on shooting guards? Ooh, we're deep. So, yeah, I wanted to do it just to make people aware of it. So I'm elated to hear you say that. It's exactly the reason that I do it. Didn't stand out, not spectacular, no thank you. Hardworking kid, top 25. There's a good one. Top 5 at the Big Apple. He's looking real good. Top 10 at yeah. Hardworking, yep. A lot of good players on here. Mike Gill is not one of the good players. Nor is Reginald Collier. Collier? We'll go with that. We'll get fancy with our pronunciation. Not that it's necessarily correct, but, we'll make it sound good. Like when my wife tells me she's going to Target. Simon Calloway. Top 10 at Big Apple. Good to go. Didn't stand out. Get off my list, Joe. Troy Cooper. All right. Andy Diwali. Nope. John Williams. Nope. And there's Ross Jackson. All right, once we get this list purged, we're going to blow through the rest of this recruiting. I just want to make sure we get rid of chumps like whoever that center was that I did an in-home visit for, and he went immediately hot. Because you don't want to waste time on guys like that. You don't have enough time. Decent, not spectacular at the regional. Get off my list. Same for Joey. Darius, you're definitely gone. Brandon Anderson, no. Back to the top of the list. So, power forwards. We should be MVP at Memphis. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about. So, he's top 5 at Indy and MVP at Memphis. So, that's, just excellent. And then we got Eric Williams, who was MVP at Big Apple and top 5 at Indy. So we are definitely going to stay in on him. Didn't stand out. Decent. No. This guy is another underachieving chump. All potential, no ability. Yeah, come join CBGM. Chris is absolutely right. I should have been recruiting harder there. Sorry about that. All right, that's all the power forwards and the center list. Last one we got a purge. Looking good there. Top 5, yup. MVP, yup. Top 10, top 5. Didn't stand out and didn't go to the other camp. So, exactly. This is the guy, and this is the one, like, I'm going through the list because of this guy, and we get here. Didn't stand out. Nothing about a regional camp. He didn't even go. Get off the list, dude. Decent. No regional camp. He's a little bit better. Like, when you're decent at Indy, that's a different thing. You're almost certainly top 25 at a regional, but you know what? I would take that from anybody else, but from a 5-star player, he's going to be gone too soon. He'll declare too early. So, no. No. Definitely not you. All right, he's good to go. Gerald West, good to go. Jamal James, MVP. Top 10. Are all these guys? Yeah, I was already scrolling back through. There was only 8 of them. All right, so now we can get the full list here. See, let's catch up on chat. Some of the guys. Yeah, Blaze. If I was at a smaller school, I would hold on to those guys who were decent at regional camps. I'm only letting them go now because, I mean, the guys that I'm targeting, honestly, are going to be like 2 of the top 10 players in the country. And if I strike out on those, like, I can easily, I think at this point, given my prestige, recruiting budget, etc., I think that I can easily land 2 of the top 50 guys in the country, which are going to be far better than those decent whatever. At a school, depending on how big your school is, like when I was at EKU in this save, those decent, not spectacular guys, those were my best players. So, yeah, it depends on the school that you're at. Breeze is talking about Corliss Marbury is Stephon Marbury's son. That's right. Chris says Starbury. That's absolutely correct. All right, so back to hosting. We got our list purged, so now everybody on the list are realistic targets. Obviously, some are going to be better than others, but they're all realistic targets. So that's all that we wanted to do there with our cleaning up of the recruiting list. So now we're on August 14th. We'll get this sim in. Then we'll get our list rearranged and see if we've got a realistic shot at the guys that we're after. And we got a chance to sort of reorient ourselves. Ross Jackson, we're still in his top 10. Still competitive for him. This is the best player in the country, so we are... Let's see, pick. So I'm looking at this, and here's how, in my head, I'm evaluating it. First of all, he's the best player in the country. Second of all, we're not too far behind. And because, my coach is pretty much close to all 100s at this point, so I will beat out other teams on an in-home visit. He's big into school prestige, which, looking through this list and given North Carolina's current prestige, I'm probably ahead of everyone. Villanova is probably ahead of me. The rest of these, I'm probably within, a handful of points. Some of them I'm well ahead of. So... I feel like we can compete. I don't think we're out of that running. We're going to stay on him. Eric Williams, let's evaluate that. All right, so we're not in his top 10, so that's a big problem. So immediately I want to check out Dave Dumas. He's in a different region, but he had a similar performance. We are in his top 10. But he's huge into school prestige, and he's got some much more prestigious schools up here. Kansas being one, Florida being one. All right. And he's out of region. So Huh. Ooh, Brian Crooks went straight to hot. Decent, top 25. Okay, he's definitely on the lower end of the scale as far as what we're looking at. Kind of small. Do we have any small forwards that are like warm? What Watkins do? Top 25 at Indy. Didn't go anywhere else. So, okay, not awful. Gerald West, top 5 at Indy. We're in his top 10 barely. I think we can just start going through them like this. Top 10 at Indy. Okay. You know, as far as big men go, if that's the route we're going to go, we've got a lot of pretty good options. Top 25 at Indy, top 5 at Vegas. Chris Allen doesn't have a ton of interest in us. Catlett, top 10 at Indy. MVP at Vegas. Not super high on the list. You know, let's just go for the two best players that we went for. Yeah, Starberry, that was his nickname for a long time, Breeze. All right, we're just gonna go for the guy that we think is the best player, Eric Williams, and then we know a handful of guys that we want to be backup options. So let's just go for that. See if we can land the killer class, and if we can't, we'll adjust. You know, we're going to get almost every one of these guys on for a campus visit before we hit September 11th. So that's awesome. So yeah, I mean, this could be a crazy good class. Could you imagine if we bring in those two guys into what we've already got here? We're not losing. Like, whatever we do with this team, we're not losing anybody. Maybe, you know, a transfer or something, but all right, let's do this. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to watch these games this year is what I'm ready to do. But I'm ready to hit the in-home recruiting too. Eric Williams to UConn straight away, doesn't even let us in the door. Whoa. That sucks. We got a couple of guys here that are hot, though. So first, let's check out Ross Jackson. We're still in his top 10. We got to make this visit. We got to talk about prestige. See if my charm can bring Ross Jackson into Chapel Hill. So next, let's look at some of these guys, especially like Jarrett Medley here. Already hot. Top 10 at Indy. That's good enough for me. Make sure that we unlock these other categories. Chat with him a little bit. All right, he's definitely into school prestige, so that's the way that we're going. Crooks wasn't great, right? Decent, not spectacular, top 25. So that's really a no thanks. Like, I appreciate the interest, but no thanks. Top 25 at Indy, top 5 at Big Apple. This kind of guy's a little bit different here. We'll pitch him on location. And maybe a small forward. Like, do we have a small forward that's good and interested? Not necessarily. Maybe. And maybe. So maybe these two guys. Not top 10. We're top 10 on his. Now, he's in the wrong region, and he's huge on location. This guy's in California, but we really don't have any information on him. Let's see what he's interested in. Gary Chambers. Oh, he was cool anyway. It doesn't matter. We wanted to look at Luke Smith. Decent, not spectacular. No. So Baker it is. And, you know, sometimes, I mean, they say that location's important, right? But, like, maybe he wants to be in North Carolina. You don't know. Like, you can still go in and make that pitch. Never be scared to go in and make the pitch that they're interested in hearing just because you don't think you stack up well. But you can go and tell them, like, oh, you're in South Carolina. Oh, yeah, North Carolina's beautiful. You know, whatever. Like, just, you know, role play that a little bit. Joe and Baker, a nice... do we want to make that offer? I thought we were making the offer to Medley. I think I just forgot to hit the button, potentially. There we go. All right, good to go. Yeah, I love spreading the love. That's for certain. Eric Williams going to Connecticut. Whatever. Oh, look at this. We got Norton candidates, baby. Michael Wall, Brian Joyner, and Irvin Eloy. Irvin Eloy isn't even starting for us. Look at that. The Ville, baby. The #1 Norton candidate. Where's our top one at? The Ville again. Ooh, they're going crazy. Michael Wall coming in at number 17. All right. It's about to get real. We're about to hit this season. We got 3 Norton candidates. It's about to get crazy. Let's see if we can get it lit for next season, though. If we land both these dudes, I mean, just start etching our name onto the trophy. It's going to be over. First, looks like, what do we want? Jarrett Medley. Let's look at Medley first. All right, Medley, we came on. We made the offer late. Shouldn't make a big difference. First week out of the gate, we visited him. He's interested. He's coming to North Carolina, baby. So that's a top 10 camper. One of the top 10 players in the country. He's all over us. We're bringing him in to Chapel Hill. Now, can we bring in the Indy Elite MVP to join him? He's going to Pittsburgh. God. Sucks. Hate losing out on guys like that. He's so good. He was the only, all we needed in this season were guards and small forwards. He's the best one in the country, and he's going to Pittsburgh. Sucks. All right. So, what are our other options at guard? Top 25 at Indy, top 5 Big Apple. Okay. So, this guy is a backup option. I think DeMarcus Daniels, the one that we really liked, went to Villanova. Top 10 at Houston. Okay. Okay. Simon Callaway. A lot of these guys are pretty similar. Kevin Harris looks good. Top 10 at Indy. Top 5 at Chicago. But we're hot with Kevin Harris. Top 25 and top 5. So Kevin Harris definitely getting the scholarship offer. He likes to hear about facilities. Cool. We like to talk about facilities. Grant Edmond likes to talk about conference prestige, right? Did I get that right? That's right. Conference prestige for Grant. And at the shooting guard, who was our we're already in on him. Battier, all right. Callaway, Cooper. We decided all these guys are kind of the same, right? Let's go to Callaway. Talk about academics. What the heck? I mean, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but gotta have some backup options. Gotta do it. All right, so let's see. What's our other options here? People in the YouTube comments were talking about some better out of conference opponents. So this is on the road. Let's let's not jump into the deep end just yet. Let's see. Let's bring in UCLA. Oh, let's bring in Arizona. I'd like to win a couple of games too. And let's bring in IU. So that's 3 crazy out of conference games. I think that we'll be good enough that this won't blow us up or anything. But I mean, it could be ugly, but it'll definitely be interesting. Oh, we got him, right? Kevin Harris coming in. All right, little 2-man class. That's fine. Let's take a look at him here. So first of all, Jarrett Medley, top 10 player at Indy, one of the best 10 players in the country. He's a 5-star guy, so probably a one and done. I mean, he's ranked number 10. That's almost certainly a one and done. There's a small chance he could stay. But he's one of the top 10 players in the country. He's going to be huge on the inside next year. That's awesome. And then Kevin Harris, the point guard. Now, he's a 4-star guy, top 50. He'll actually stick around. And he's top 25 at Indy and top 5 at the Big Apple. So we brought in 2 more of the best 25 prospects in the country. And once again, we're just getting stacked at point guard. I mean, our guards are going to be crazy good. I would have liked to have brought in a shooting guard. This is where the opportunity was this year. This is where the talent was. So I'm going with it. I'll play this guy at shooting guard, no problem. He's going to be solid. So with all that being said, we are very much done with recruiting. We got a killer class, in my opinion, and we're headed straight for the games, baby. Let's see what happens. I'm very, very much excited to get this team on the court. Can't wait. Can't wait. Look, Grant Edmond went hot. He'd have been all right, but he committed elsewhere. Practice begins. Ready to get going on these games. This is definitely like an Elite 8 Final Four type of team. At least early in the season, pre-injuries, pre-locker room drama, I'm feeling an Elite 8 Final Four type of run out of this team. We'll see what actually comes from it. The one problem that I do kind of foresee is I don't think we have any dominant players. We got a great mix of talent across the board. They're all deep, so I'm hoping that the philosophies and strategy and all that kind of synergize and take us, where I'm hoping to get to. But we don't have any dominant players. We don't have a Sarath Vaca. We don't have that Ross Jackson, whatever it is. Thinking about, I don't know if we have a 5-star player on the team. I think Ashley Dieter's 4.5. Let's check the roster. See if we got a 5-star player. Yeah, I usually set up. Chris asked if I need to do any coach swapping, and typically I try to set up my staff so I don't really have to worry about that. George Brooks, the recruiter, 5-star man. My practice coach, heavy into player development, and my scout. So all good there. I don't really have to play around with that. I could probably, you can min-max and grab a first assistant, let him do all the recruiting, and then swap them off to player development and practice, after you land your guys. I don't know. Just never feels right for me, so I don't do it that way. But you can do it that way. Because, I still got, $60,000 left? I could bring in a $200,000 first assistant coach, right? How much money do I still got? $50,000. We're good to go there. All right, game times. Let's get it. North Carolina. I think this is our 3rd year with North Carolina. Is that right? First year we brought in all the freshmen. Second year we brought in Vaca. This is the third year, I think. And we're already set. Already set to get crazy. So we got to start off at Georgia. Let's double check this roster just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, right. So Ashley Dieter is 4.5 star. Michael Wall also 4.5 star. I'm pretty sure the coach offensive and defensive ratings affect how quickly they gain proficiency at the offensive and defensive sets. Player development is more about gaining skills as the years go on, and then recruiting and scouting is kind of self-explanatory. I don't think that the offensive and defensive coaching skills affect how quickly they develop offensive and defensive abilities, like defensive rebounding or scoring or shooting. I think it affects how quickly they develop proficiency in the sets. All right, so scoring, those three guards, obviously, Wall and Thornton. Tice, Rogers, actually really good. Oh, excuse me. God, Michael Wall is a baller from day one. How high was he rated? 26. Whew. Heck of a player. Defender, cleanup man. God, he's going to be good. We're going to be good this year, guys. Look at this. We got point guards with 7s in offensive and defensive rebounding. Go look at your team. See if you got that. You don't. This team's set up to go. So between Dieter and Eloy, Eloy's got the jumper. Dieter's got the passing and handling, the stealing, a little bit of IQ. Okay. And then we look at Joyner. He's definitely got the jumper. But at the same time, who's got a 10 at jumper and a 3 at free throws? You just got you're just nervous at the free throw line or something? What's your deal? What are you doing? God, I'm half tempted to put Eloy in as the shooting guard and let Joyner be the third guard. We'll see. We'll see. I like this. Let me make sure. I wanted to make sure that Thornton was high enough in the list. He's only getting 8 minutes. That's kind of awkward to me. He's 6'4". Let's also allow him to be considered a shooting guard. And let the AI set a matrix. Yeah, that looks kind of interesting, actually. It screwed up what I did having LOE. All right, here's what we're going to do. No, not that. You're the shooting guard there. There. What is this thing doing? You're the point guard. All right, I like that. All right, let's get it going. What up, Chuck Exotic? Glad to have you in here, buddy. It's going good. We're just getting that roster set up. Now we're ready to go for this 2034-2035 season. I don't know if you saw the recruiting class or not, but we're lit for next year. 2 of the top 25 prospects in the country. 1 big man, 1 shooting guard. It's... and I told people right out of the gate, Eric Tice and Shea Thornton both got hurt. So that's kind of potentially awful. It's nice to go right out of the gate, game 1 of the year, and get a nice win on the road against a big, a Power 5 team. We've Got to find out about these injuries. So Eric Tice, we're not going to be able to see this. That looks like 7 days, though, whatever it is. Shea Thornton broke his nose. He's out. Well, he's not out, though. He's just reduced capacity for a month. We can live with that because most of this, first of all, he's a backup. Second of all, most of this month, I mean, I did set the schedule up a little bit more difficult, but we'll also have some gimmies in here. So we can deal with that. Do I ever redshirt players with the depth? I do redshirt players occasionally. So I do redshirt players occasionally. For the most part, they're either great players and I want to have them available, or they suck so bad I want them to graduate as quick as possible, right? So in this situation, I probably should have redshirted a big man, just to throw that out there. So we're going to be playing Marshall Thomas. We're going to be playing Eric Tice, obviously. He's fine. Sore hand. 6 days. Nick Rogers, we'd probably let him stay out there. What I would have probably done, had I not been going a little bit too fast, I probably would have redshirted Manny Barnes. Ideally here, the best thing to do would probably be redshirt Manny Barnes. But, sometimes you're streaming, you're trying to get through things, and you don't do the absolutely best thing possible. So, that's, a mistake. I screwed it up. Should have done it. Or, like Chris said, I let them fight to the death in practice and transfer out if they lose. That's the official story that doesn't make me sound like I screwed up. But you can choose either version of the story that you like. A Beach Bear, I told you I'd get your Tar Heels going, buddy. I told you I would. Anybody out there needs Coach Cards. Any team in the country, you could benefit from a Coach Cards. Look at what we're doing. Look what your Tar Heels are doing. UC Irvine, 27 points. And the crazy, this is year 3, Beach Bear. This is year 3. We don't even have a full class of our players. We don't have anything like that. Like, we're in year 3. And we're already getting... Look at the Zoo, baby. Look at Mizzou going number 6. Loving it. I think they lost to Duke, though, so... Chuck Exotic bringing the humor. He said he's at small schools and the only stars he sees is when he looks out the window at night wishing players would come visit his school. I've definitely been there, and if you stick around for the rest of this season, the rest of the Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2021 streams, I've been saying I want to stream all the way through until the next one comes out. But I don't know, like, eventually we're going to be so dominant here, people are going to want me to move. So if you stick with us for like a month or two, you'll probably see me at a school that also only sees stars when looking out the window. Akron, going to try to come in no, we're actually in a tournament. Whatever that is, you can check the logo. But we smoked them. Marshall Thomas, so far this year, has been blazing the trail. So some genius decided that even though we were 2-0, and now 3-0, that instead of being number 3 in the country, we needed to be number 8. So let's see if we can go out. Boo the Zoo. What? I don't know about that. I like Mizzou. The only thing I got against Mizzou is they wouldn't give me any money to go out and buy some reports. All right, let's see if we can put the Cornhuskers in their place. Yes, and then some. Marshall Thomas a double-double. Michael Wall and Ashley Dieter. So now we're going to be playing in what I imagine is probably the championship game of this, out-of-conference tournament. So North Carolina and the Iowa State Cyclones. Oh, putting it on them. Michael Wall with the double-double. Irvin Elowy got hurt. That's concerning. 10 days. what was that, like strained abdominal, probably 87% for 10 days. So that's fine. He's a backup. That's fine. Shea Thornton, already 10 days gone. We're making things happen. We're making things happen. We're 5-0, and I don't know if we've won by less than 20 this year, have we? Maybe one game? The Georgia game was close. On the road at Georgia was close. Oh, now here we go. Here we go. He gets stretched out. Get ready. We got the number 1 UCLA Bruins coming into the Dean Smith Center. The Tar Heels and the Bruins, 2 undefeated teams. There's one team is leaving here tonight with a loss. 2 of the top teams in the country. Not going to be me losing. Not going to be me. UCLA is going to be wishing when they offer me the job I'd have taken it. I had a chance to go to UCLA and I skipped out on it. I came to North Carolina. You know what? Because North Carolina has a real budget. They actually care about basketball. UCLA must have quit caring about basketball back in the 70s or 80s or whenever it was because their budget sucks. Try to come into the Dean Smith Center. See what we got for you. See what we got for you. 9 points. Marshall Thomas going off. The number 1 team in the country. Go back home. Get out of North Carolina. You are not welcome here. 9 points. Guys, it's still year 3. It's still year 3, and this is what we're doing. What do you think we're going to be doing next year? What do you think we're going to be doing 3 years from now? Yeah, Natties. That's right. Beach Bears on it. Now we get the team incident email. Whoever is starting crap better hope to God that they're talented and on scholarship. Michael Wall and Irvin Elliott. Okay. All right, so they had an argument, but cooler heads prevailed. I'm going to let that go, but I'll keep in mind Michael Wall and Irvin Elliott not getting along. 2 very important players for the team, but if I got to get rid of one, it's nice knowing you, Irvin. We've got another point guard. We got another one coming in. Right? Do we have? Yeah, it's another point guard coming in. No, it's a shooting guard. Whatever. We still got Ashley Dieter, so whatever. Oh, look at that. We jumped to number 1 in the country. Year 3, game 6. We're number 1 in the country. There's no stopping us now, baby. North Carolina Tar Heels facing off against the Arizona Wildcats. But once again, unfortunately for the Wildcats, it's going to be in the Dean Smith Center. Woo! 37 points. I didn't even get to check the box score. Oh my God. Look at the plus minus for Ashley Dieter. Plus 47. You couldn't get plus 47 out of a guy if you put a high school team on the court against an elementary school team. You still wouldn't have plus 47. Oh my God. And it's not like, look at the 3-point shooting. It's not like we went off. It's just like in bulk, 33-69. 47%, how the rebounds go. 42-26. They're the number 8 team in the country. We out-rebounded them by like 16. Turnovers, they had 20. We had 13. Yeah, number 1, never give it back. That's what I think. Even by half. We took them out by 23 in the first half, and then we said, you know what? Let's do another 14 in the second half. What a beating. Absolute thrashing. And see, that's what I'm telling you, is once you get the talent and then you double down on it with those coaching philosophies, it's over. It's over. You just pure domination. And the thing is, we still don't have the talent that we will have. Eventually we're going to bring in like low-ish ranked 5-star guys who end up staying 2, maybe even 3 years, and the talent is only getting better. So, like, this is a sneak preview. But you guys feel free to daydream about what this is going to look like in 2 or 3 more streams. All right, now we got Arizona State coming in. So, on the heels of beating the number 8 team by 37, beating the number 1 team by 20, whatever it was, now we got an 0-3 Arizona State team coming in. Oh, like, you just sort of feel bad, but at the same time, like, sometimes the sim likes to throw a curveball. You never know. They could mess with us, but I think we ought to thrash them. 20 points. Good to go. And now, like, this is injury central. This is, my goodness. The injuries this season are a little bit rough. All right, LE, full strength in a day. Corey Bayless, 9 days with a finger. Shea Thornton, about 4 weeks away. Excuse me, twice there. Sorry about that. All right, so now we got a couple of jokers here against Iona and Delaware State. My drafted players will go up and attract more one-and-dones. That's right. That's part of the philosophy. But, I mean, that's just recruiting good players. I mean, your strategy, your philosophy, none of that really matters. The draft is basically based on potential. So you need to recruit highly ranked players, and you will have more drafted players. That's as simple as I can make it. All right, so we're fighting against... we're going to be playing against the Fighting Rick Pitino's here from Iona. They're going to try to come in here. They're winless so far on the season, but they think they got something for us. I hope it's lunch money or something. I don't know. 22 points. Marshall Thomas, Michael Wall, and Ivan Ross jumps up into the top 3 there for us. So we're crushing it so far this year. What we're going to do, we got 2 more games before we hit conference play. Got what's hopefully a snoozer against Delaware State, and then what's hopefully another snoozer against IU. Then we're going to take a quick refreshment break. You know, we're 9:30, 10 o'clock. We're 10:15 here on a Saturday night. Your boys got to go freshen up for a minute. So I'm going to play these 2 games, and then we're going to have a little bit of an intermission here. So I can get ready to flow through this ACC season, through this postseason, and see, like, we're undefeated. Somebody's going to have to step to us eventually. I mean, this isn't the type of team. I've had undefeated teams. This isn't a team that's talented enough to go undefeated. So we'll lose eventually on the road in conference, but we're going to have a really, really interesting postseason. Kentucky's 2-4. You losers. I love them. I love seeing Kentucky lose. It's amazing. Look at this. Not only did Louisville beat them in Rupp. Does the box score show the records? If the record's on here somewhere, just look and laugh. They suck again. All right, so Delaware State, 25 points. Marshall Thomas, Michael Wall, and Brian Joyner for 20. Brian Joyner for 20. All right, last out-of-conference game against IU. Another home game. They're 7-3 in the top 25. We're undefeated at this point. Chris says you almost don't want to play against bad teams in case they pull the upset. That's the reason that we set up the philosophies the way that we did. I mean, a bad team, you know, the ball bounces funny, you hit a couple threes, and all of a sudden a bad team's beating you. Well, you know how you stop that? increase the number of possessions, increase the intensity, increase how much you rotate players through. Yeah, you can hit a couple of lucky shots, but if we're playing quick offensively, if we're playing quick defensively, if we're playing full court pressure, like all of those things build up on each other to increase the number of possessions and take out some of the randomness. Like the randomness comes because there's not enough possessions, right? Like you put a good team against a bad team and give them, 1,000,000 possessions, the good team's going to be better. The reason that these games sometimes you get an upset is because there's just not enough possessions for that talent and depth to shine through. So what we're trying to do is set up philosophies to encourage that depth and that talent to shine through. So that's exactly why we set the philosophies the way that we did. That's like my theory behind it. And I mean, you can see how it's working out so far. We'll see if it... And now they drop us down to number 2. What, did we not beat the number 1 team by enough? Is that what you're telling me? Number 2 versus number 19. The Hoosiers and the Tar Heels. Basketball royalty on the floor here in Chapel Hill tonight. And North Carolina smokes them again. 22-point victory. Irvin Eloy leads the way off the bench. He's back. His abdominal strain is over. He's 100% healthy and ready to go. And look who they put number 1. Just look at it. It's right there. Number 1, the Duke Blue Devils. So, I mean, you thought the last North Carolina Duke game you watched was big. Wait till this comes up. Just wait till this comes up. That is it for the out-of-conference season. Guys, let me freshen up. Quick break. Back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're headed for a Final Four, baby. All right, baby, here we go. Second half of the road to the Final Four. Let's get it. Yeah, we're going to take out Duke right here. They're going to try to come into our home arena, and it's not going to work out for them. I got a feeling. So I've been doing yard work all day, so I popped open the old streamer beverages a little early today. Hopefully that's the only intermission that we need to get through the rest of the season, but you never know. And you guys know how it is. But we're almost through December, so we're pushing it. We're pushing. See, those should just be scouting reports. Yes, yes, yes. Good to go. 11-0. Feeling good. Feeling all right. Day after Christmas, we're going to go play Virginia Tech. We're at home. Virginia Tech actually looks good. 8-1. Whoa, Kid for Life, what's up? Yeah, buddy. You know, I play at different times. I didn't think that I was going to be catching the European crowd at this point, but you never know. That's why we mix it up, right? You know, we do it at different times. See who can join us. Glad to have you here. You're just in time to watch us head to the Final Four. We're going to make it this year. I'm telling you. I'm calling it right now. We're only in December, but we're making the Final Four. Stick with us. I'll get you to a championship before 4 o'clock. The Hokies and the Tar Heels. 12 points. Ivan Ross, Michael Wall, Ashley Dieter. Man, I love it. The variety of the players that are leading us this year. To see how many times Ivan Ross is coming through is really good. And so, normally you'd be like, well, get the dude in the starting lineup. But the problem is, the only guy that's more consistently in the top performers list is Marshall Thomas, who's the starting center. So, can't really do much there. Oh, kid, you got Penn State, man. I was thinking, if I hadn't already had 3 teams, I might have tried to grab Penn State. I think it would be so cool to get Penn State competitive in the Big Ten. And I don't think it would be extremely difficult. I don't think it'd be easy. Whoa, and Kid for Life adds the Prime subscription. Thank you, sir. We very much appreciate that. Yeah, but it's awesome to have people be a part of the league. Really enjoying it. All right, so a little weekend treat to yourself. How about this treat? Duke's coming in. They're number 1 in the country. Look, how? Well, what's your basis for that? They're 12-2. We're 12-0, and we're about to smoke them. They're coming into our place with that number 1 ranking. Big ass target on their back. Go back to Durham. Get out. You weren't even close. 15 points. You weren't even close. That's what happens when you set it up to just beat on people. And we've got it set it up to beat on people, folks. We do. We will still, like I said, this is not a team that's talented enough to go undefeated. They're just not. We will lose at least a handful of games on the road here. But we're not losing games at home. I mean, that was... How many number 1 teams do we have to beat by double digits at home before somebody gives us a little bit of credit? We're 13-0. We're 13-0. Notre Dame's 5-6. Oof. Oof. Yeah, thank you. We appreciate it, Kid for Life. Chris says we need a ring. I think we need a ring. We haven't won a championship on stream yet. I've been doing these streams for well over a year, right, Chris? I think I started in March or April of last year. We haven't won a championship on stream yet. Now, there we go, 18 points against Notre Dame. Marshall Thomas leading the way. I actually thought last stream was our best chance to date because of Sarath Vaca, and then he got hurt in the ACC championship game, which was just flat out brutal. But I can tell you this. I don't know if this team will win the championship. I don't. But within the next month, that no championship streak will be broken. We're about to start winning championships real quick and in a hurry. The talent's there. The strategy is set up. The plan is in place. It's about to be Title City here in Chapel Hill. So everybody that's been with me since the start or joined along the way, glad to have you. Thanks for coming. You've watched me build it and how I build it at various different schools, how I go about it, how I plan, how I think through situations. And now you're about to see how I fill up a trophy case. This is what we're going to do. But first we got to go on the road against Pitt. And they don't look like a great team, but a decent team. And we know on the road in conference is vulnerable. This is not any kind of super team. They're good, not excellent. So let's see what happens here on the road. Whoo, close one. Close one, but we pull it out. And you know what? That's what good teams do, is they go on the road in conference. Even if it's tough, they make it happen. Pour the beer on my head when I win. You know, Chris, it wouldn't be my first win, so like maybe my first one I would have done that. Some of my Let's Plays I've won 4 or 5 in a row, so you know, I don't get enough opportunity to stream and show everybody how this goes, but winning it all definitely wouldn't be a pouring a beer on my head thing. But I don't know. You know, we'll see. Depends on if anybody wants. Depends on if we get some more subscribes or whatever it is. You know, some people subscribe. Maybe I'll pour a beer on my head. I don't know. You know, we could go anywhere, because the thing is, like, normally this is like a Tuesday, Wednesday night stream, right? Like, it's Saturday night, baby. Like, let's get live. Like, my wife can go to bed. Shit, maybe we go for 2 seasons here. Who knows? It could be midnight. We get through the rest of the entire streamer fridge over there, and yeah, we can go full on stone cold, pouring beers on our head before we go to sleep. Who knows? Anything's possible. Perfect season beer bath. Yeah, perfect season. I'll go beer bath. That's right. All right, on the road against the Hokies. All right. Whoo! 18 points against Virginia Tech, and Ivan Ross gets hurt. We're getting crushed with injuries this year. Crushed with injuries. Access 2 seasons will be lit. See the new recruits in action. Yeah, 2 seasons is always pretty exciting. I'll have to see. You know, I might have to do a false intermission at the end of this season, just to like go up and check and see if my wife's still up. If she's asleep already, like, I mean, it's not off the table. You know what I mean? Let's first go see what that injury was. So, sore back. All right. We're getting pretty lucky. I mean, Shea Thornton's already healthy again. We're getting pretty lucky. We've had a ton of injuries, and they've all been fairly easy to deal with. But yeah, like Chris said, don't count any chickens. Time to get it. Let's bear down. We're barely, excuse me here. Ooh, on the road at Syracuse. Bad Syracuse team, but on the road is always scary. All right, so let's see what they got here. What, Carrier Dome? And it all comes crashing down against a garbage Syracuse team. The beer bath is officially off the table. We have lost in the most pathetic way imaginable to a sub 500 team. But that's what happens on the road. In conference, on the road, you will lose to bad teams unless you are exceptional. I mean, it's just, I don't know what it is, like some random variable, whatever you want to call it. Like, even my best teams that beat everybody by 30 or 40 points, they will play a game on the road in conference and only win by like 5 against some nobody that sucks. It just happens. And it happens in real life too. It's not like let's see what this is. All right, so Michael Wall and Irvin L. we still having pissing matches. What is that? My team suggestion file has been saved here. Multiplayer what? I've not seen that before. So that looks like maybe some kind of weird thing with the 9.5 update. All right, that was Irvin Elway, Michael Wall. All right, we got to suspend Michael Wall. Yeah. This. Okay, I don't know what that is from the update, but something weird going on there that we can just let somebody know about tomorrow. How about that? All right, didn't we suspend him? I thought we just suspended him. There might be an issue with this last update. Did I not suspend him? Did I not actually hit the button? I thought it was when I hit the suspend button that it gave me the green thing on Michael Wall. Anyway, I tried to suspend him. If this is a bank error in Michael Wall's favor, we're just going to let it happen because I'd rather he not be suspended, in all honesty. I was just trying to do it, but if it didn't work, whatever. I felt like I clicked the button and that's when the green thing popped up on him, but we'll see. I don't think so. A little bit of redemption there. 31 points against Virginia. And you can see, I mean, Michael Wall played 28 minutes there. So, unless I didn't hit the suspension button, something went wrong. But, error in our favor, I'm good with it. So, let's keep on rolling. We are on January 19th. So, the one super bad loss on the road at the Carrier Dome. But like they said, that kind of thing happens. Like that Syracuse zone, it messes with people. And guys, for the record, like I don't want to be giving away any CBGM secrets over here, but there's a reason that I'm focusing my teams on playing zone, because it messes with people. So let's see if we can mess with the Hurricanes here. Get that 1-2-2 on them, baby. That 1-2-2, 33 points. That's right. We're smoking fools this year. Oh, now we got to go into the Ville. They're number 6. Oh, tough road game. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, Chris, I'll let you like document, figure that out. It doesn't make any sense to me, but and I don't want to dwell on it for the purposes of the stream. Like I want to focus on this 18-1 North Carolina Tar Heel team on a mission to cut some nets this year, baby. On a mission to cut nets. But first, we got to go through the Ville. We got to show up at the Yum Center. We got to show up on, what is that, 2nd or 3rd Street in Louisville? We got to show up and make it happen on the road. Like, basically no senior leadership, no elite players. And Louisville's got half the Norton list. So, in theory, we should probably lose this game by like 10, 12 points. But you never know what actually happens. So let's see what's up. North Carolina at Louisville. You all can see it's live. I'm not trying to tank the game or anything, but I do think Louisville might send us packing. Oh no, quite the opposite. 85-67. Michael Wall says, "You can't suspend me. I'll suspend you. I'll suspend you. I'll suspend everybody. I'm taking over." Michael Wall dominated in that game. And we won on the road against a top 5 Louisville team by 20. Beat down. Let's see if we can continue it at Florida State. Is this a thing? Like, was it truly Syracuse's zone? And guys, now this is where This is where like my pattern recognition and watching things is kicking in and like chirping in the background. If I lose some other road games, this is a good but not great team that just loses on the road sometimes. If I dominate everybody else on the road, though, this is why I'm running zone. So, let's see what happens here. In Tallahassee, Florida State. Woo! It was a close one, but we won. Took care of business. Michael Wall's still doing things and stuff. 9 points, 11 rebounds. And, I mean, he's a freshman, right? He's a freshman. Taking care of business. So, I actually think Syracuse might have only beat us because they weren't interested in the Chuck Exotic beer bath. You know, for whatever reason, like, you know, the undefeated beer bath was Stone Cold, and Syracuse is like The Rock, and he's like, oh, people's elbow, no Stone Cold beer bath for you. But other than that, everything is looking pretty good. Feeling good about this. Like, feeling good about it. And then you gotta remember, don't forget to take a step back and remember, we're not losing anybody, and we're bringing in 2 of the top 25 recruits in the country, including the top 10 center. Next year is gonna be, and not only like you bring in those 2 guys, but everybody on your team develops, gets better at the plays, gets better at offense, defense, everything. Like, it's just so out of control right now. So out of control. We're almost through January. Clemson coming into the Dean Dome. Let's see if we can't get February kicked off right. Make it happen right here. The Tar Heels and the Tigers. Tar Heels and Tigers. What's it going to be? Michael Wall and Marshall Thomas. Eminem. Oh, my word. Those 2 dudes are just carrying us this year. We should take a look at the stats. Take a look at the roster. See what everybody's averaging. Tyrone Kennedy. I think Kennedy was Chris's guy from the Toronto team in WSBA. All right, let's take a look at these stats. So points, what? Brian Joyner. How is Brian Joyner, like it's always Michael Wall and it's always Marshall Thomas showing up. How is Brian Joyner hardly ever showing up on a list, yet he's at 15 points a game? Whoo, Michael Wall, not only 13 a game, but 9 rebounds? What's his rebounding? I mean, 8 and 8 with the cleanup. Really? All right, Marshall Thomas, 8 and 8. He doesn't have the attribute though, so I mean that kind of makes sense. My goodness, Michael Wall, 26th rated player in the nation. Absolute stud. And I mean, when you're ranked 26th, I've seen guys in that ranking go pro early. I have. But more often than not, I see him stick around for 2, 3, 4 years. He could be a 4-year player. This is just what he's doing as a freshman. So, and that's what I was saying. Like, we're going to start having these, like, borderline 5-star guys who stick around 2, 3, 4 years. The talent differential between what we have and what we're playing against is only going to get worse. And there's Brian Joyner with a 29-point outburst. Oh, my word. Double-double as a freshman. Yeah, not only he's trying to average a double-double as a freshman. He's had plenty of them already, single-game double-doubles. He's trying to average a double-double as a freshman. So, yes, extremely talented small forward that we've got there in Michael Wall. And I feel really bad because Shea Thornton, who's, a sophomore, also extremely talented, very easily could be a 4-year starter, could be a starter on a Final Four team. And Michael Wall is just better. I mean, it's not my fault. I'm sorry. Michael Wall's just better. And it doesn't mean Shea Thornton is bad. That's why at the beginning of the stream, if you missed it, I enabled the option for the AI to consider playing him at shooting guard because I want him to get more time on the court. All right, so now we're going to play a atrocious Virginia team. Like, these are games, like, okay, the Syracuse game, I can forgive you because of the 2-3 zone. This would be unforgivable. Ashley Dieter and Marshall Thomas. It's what I like to see. It's what I like to see. John Wall's little brother. Yeah, maybe. I mean, isn't that what the John Wall thing, right? He probably did it more stylish than I did, more athletic, etc. But yeah, I think that was his thing. All right, on the road in Miami. Let's see what we got for Miami. Can we go? They're 7-7 in the ACC. Can we take care of business in Miami? Oh, yes, we can. Yes, we can by 14. So far, nothing is touching us. Like, go on, brush your shoulders off. Nothing's touching us except that Syracuse zone. Nothing. Like, what else? What else you got, ACC? Who else you got? You got an away game at Duke in here? I already took care of Louisville top 5. You got an away game at Duke? We got to play in Durham? I assume that we do. I don't think there's anything else that's touching us right now. We're beating on fools in year 3. Being led by freshmen. Oh, wait, Marshall Thomas is a sophomore, I suppose. At Notre Dame. Can we take care of Notre Dame? Yeah, sometimes, like, playing at Notre Dame is a different kind of thing because you got that luck of the Irish thing. And it's real. Like, it's no joke. It's real. It's a thing that's in real life. It's a thing that's in the game. Playing at Notre Dame is dangerous. And they're 9-5 in the ACC. So 12-11 overall is deceptive. 9-5 in the ACC gives me a better idea of where they're at. So this is going to be a really tough game in South Bend. Whoo! 2-point victory. 2-point victory. Hey, but it goes in the win column. It goes in the win column. So, it's a great game against Notre Dame on the road. And like I said earlier, that's what good teams do. You go on the road against good teams and you win in their arena. And we're good enough now to be winning these road games. Wake Forest, this ought to be a smashing. 1-13 in the ACC. Bro, do you even basketball? Like, Wake Forest, what are you doing? 7-16? Oh, what about Chris Paul, Tim Duncan, Skip Prosser? Like, what? 7-16? Get out of here. Not even worth getting excited about. Had it been overtime, snuck out of there with the W. Yeah, I didn't check to see if it was overtime. That's a good point. I should have checked that. Anytime the scores are that high and that close, I should be checking to see if it was overtime. All right, now we got Boston College coming in. Another team looks a little bit under the weather here. A little bit under 500 in ACC play. Probably not a great team. Probably ought to do some nasty stuff to them. Oh! Oh! Oh, I can't even look. Oh, you guys, if you're not 17 or older, you need parental supervision before you look at the results of that game. Like 108-73? Oh my God. And this is the philosophies that I set up. This is the full court pressure. This is the quick offensive pace. Oh, I mean, the talent obviously is the support for that philosophy. But this is what happens when you got the right talent and the right philosophy at home against a bad team. You smoke people. I mean, let's take a look at the dashboard, see what we're doing. Yeah, Boston College in the ACC is like Rutgers in the Big Ten. Makes no sense. I don't know if that's fair. I mean, Boston College, it's the home of like Matt Ryan and football, that sort of thing. I don't know if that's fair. It's kind of fair. Yeah, so what is it? 63-81. About 18. We're winning by about 18 points a game here. I mean, I've certainly seen worse, but 18 points a game is no joke when you don't have a single 5-star player on your roster. And we're doing this with 4.5-star guys. So imagine what's going to happen. I keep saying this isn't the type of team to be undefeated, and obviously they've lost. So we're doing all of this without a 5-star player on the roster. The team that I took undefeated a couple of weeks ago, I think had 6 or 7 5-star players on the roster, and another 2 or 3 that were 4.5. So, like, those are the kind of teams that can go undefeated. On the road at Duke, this is most likely a loss. Yeah, Beach Bear, you had questions about whether or not I was going to get your North Carolina squad and get them to a point that you could cheer them. Like, tell me this isn't like your dream of what North Carolina should do, right? All right, so see, we're not perfect. We got them at home. We lost on the road, but I want to see them in the ACC championship game. I need North Carolina versus Duke in the ACC championship game this year. Have to have it. Have to have it. Chris said should have been garbage time from the opening tip. A lot of times it is. I've had guys on teams like this when you're this much more talented and beating people this badly. I've had those guys that like aren't scheduled to get any minutes, just garbage time minutes, and they average like 3 or 4 minutes a game. And you're like, how is that happening? Because you keep beating teams by 50, dude. Like, that's how it happens. Yeah, Cameron strikes. That's fine. Cameron's going to strike. The difference between this team and a team with a guy like Sarath Vaca. Like, a guy like Sarath Vaca can take unwinnable games and make them winnable. We don't have a player on the roster that can do that this year. Much less 5 or 6 of them. So, I think next year we will have one at least. Not only that, all of these players will be a little bit more developed. So we're in a good place. We're headed, we're trending in the right direction. But, this is an excellent college basketball team. It's not like a historic college basketball team. You know what I mean? I mean, this could certainly be Gonzaga's team from last year, but this isn't like, 92 UNLV, 96 Kentucky. It's not one of those type of teams. NC State coming into the Dean Dome, we ought to handle business here, and we handle our business at home, baby. You're not messing with us in the Dean Dome. It's not happening. J Slim says, my Blue Devils. You see yourself out of the chat. My Blue Devils. What is that? The water boy dropped 15 on BC. Yeah, that's very true. I think that's accurate, actually. All right, so we got one more regular season game left at Georgia Tech. They're actually up to number 13. I feel like we worked them earlier in the year. But let's see what happens here on the road against Georgia Tech. Headed down to the ATL. Is this like one of those like Georgia Polytechnic Institute, something like that? Like their official name? I just hope they don't break out the wishbone on the basketball court, you know? Jay Slim thought we were joking. There's no Duke fans allowed in here. You go sit in the corner with Chris. Chris likes Duke. Y'all don't talk about Wojo together. All right, the Tar Heels and the Yellow Jackets in Atlanta. Woo-hoo-hoo. Michael Wall, Ashley Dieter, Eric Tice. Boom, baby. 29-2. Guys, who had 29-2 as the record for my third season at a UNC team? Now listen, you can say, okay, well, you took over a blue blood program. What do you expect? This team had 2 scholarship players on it when we showed up. The first year, we had to recruit like 11 guys. Then we brought in a handful of guys last year, and our best player got hurt and then declared for the draft. So, I mean, think about what we came back from and what we're doing right now. It's absurd. That first recruiting class that we brought in was spectacular. And the second one was just as good, and we're bringing in another one right behind them. Like, we're going off. We're going off. There's no holding us back right now. We'll see what happens in this ACC tournament. I can't wait to face Duke in the finals. I think all of our injury problems are over. Like, so far. Like, guys should be healthy. Guys should be ready to go. Oh, what we do need is to jump out and check emails. See if anybody's going pro early. That usually gets decided on the March 4th to March 5th. Transfer players declaring for draft. Cross your fingers. Cross your toes. Yes. Nobody going pro. So, I know Agalia was talking in chat about he sees, like, everybody in the top 40 go pro by their sophomore, junior year. Like, I mean, Michael Wall, number 26 recruit, he's nowhere on the list. We got a bunch of guys in that category, like, not on the list. We got nothing on the list. So, we're good to go there. Michael Wall, a finalist for the Norton. Look at that. Number 7 on the Norton list. Awesome. So, I mean, he's not going to make it, but that tells me he's looking at a lot of awards after the year. Looking at a lot of awards. I'm sorry. From now on, if I say the word Duke, I'll immediately follow it by sucks. So, as you can see here, Duke sucks beat Florida State by 12 in the first round. So, North Carolina State, the other in-state team, on a neutral court. I mean, this shouldn't be an issue. But again, we don't have that elite player like Vaca. Like, if I had Vaca, I wouldn't worry about stuff like this. As it stands, you can have a bad game. You can have a bad game and lose to anybody. So not today, though. 15 points. Marshall Thomas, Brian Joyner getting the job. Look at that Virginia team, 14-18. They're in the semis. Wow. All right, Duke sucks took care of them. So now, can we make it happen? Like, don't let us be the weak link in this epic 3 battle season, whatever. Take care of Notre Dame right now. Oh, for shit's sakes. We lost by 13 to Notre Dame. That's what I was saying. Like, you can lose games like that. If you don't have an elite player You can lose games like that. That's our one failing this year. Overall, we're great. We've got the strategy. We've got the talent. But we don't you need an elite player to be a safety valve. And we don't have a safety valve. And so we just ate it right there against Notre Dame. Let's see how that fell apart. So they shot, defensively, they shot almost 60%, 50% from three. Do you have to look further than that? And then they got 40 rebounds. So they out-rebounded us, outshot us, doubled our three-point percentage. I mean, we turned them over, but that wasn't enough to stay in the game. We don't have a safety valve. So, Axe, thank you for reminding me about Louisville losing their bid over some nonsense this year. I had almost forgotten about it. Alright, so Duke wins the ACC tournament. That sucks. Let's see how... Oh, shoot. I hit the wrong button, guys. I'm sorry I hit the wrong button. We didn't get to see the show. Alright, let's see what's happening. Shoot. That was stupid. This is going to be the Duke Sucks episode. Well, I mean... They are awful. Nobody likes them except for Chris and Jay Slim. So it's pretty interesting. They run an entire school based on a fan base of 2. Oh, good. We lost in the ACC tournament. We're trying to regroup for the NCAA tournament. And this is when we decide to have a team incident. Irvin Elliott and Michael Wall. Jesus, these two guys. These two guys are not getting along. And I'm really, really tempted to just kick one of them off the team. Who do I got coming in? He should stick around. Whew. I mean, I'm really tempted, but no. Alright, so I mean, that says it saves and works. I'll text him, but last time he didn't care for it. Oh, he's going to do it too. In theory, if that's actually taking. All right, yeah, let's blow through some time here. It's 11 o'clock. Wife could very well be asleep. Bellarmine. They're gonna make me take on my Bellarmine Knights in the first round. That's messed up. That's messed up. That's dirty. Come on, can't make me do. Ooh, Duke put it on Presbyterian. Wait, we didn't suspend anybody. Somebody hurt? What is that? Eric Tice broke his hand. You gotta be kidding me. I don't even know how I want to backfill that. Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right, so second year in a row that the last conference tournament game injures one of our starters, which is really super annoying. All right, so we put Ivan Ross in as a starter. And then I want... Oh, who do I want? Eloy Thornton, Edwards Barnes, or Rogers. Put Rogers there. All right, let's roll with this. Strong work. But it's still such a pain. Like, that's the second year in a row we lost a starter for the NCAA tournament. All right, so while I called it as a Final Four team, maybe a finalist team, like, now we're going to be in danger. I mean, probably not here, but starting in the next round, we're going to be in danger. I'm doing great, CCR. How you doing, buddy? All right, so the Rams and the Tar Heels, let's take care of business here. Please don't embarrass me, guys. Don't embarrass me. Get it done against the Rams of Colorado State. 19 points. And Marshall Thomas. Jesus. Marshall Thomas is crushing it this year. Such a good player. Love to have that guy. All right, so we made the Sweet 16. Now we got BYU. Yeah, this is where it's going to start to get a little bit tricky without a starter. Oh, you saw Missouri in the Sweet 16 as well. I don't know if they won or lost, but I saw them in there. Let's get BYU. We can take this. We can take it. The Tar Heels and the Cougars. The Tar Heels and the Cougars. Woo! 22 points. Marshall Thomas leading the way. Oh, my word. Feeling good. Feeling good. We're in the Elite Eight. You're doing good checking out the stream. Glad to have you, buddy. Thanks for stopping. Oh! Where's the Missouri guy? Where's the Missouri Bear, whatever his name is? Where you at? Trip Kelly says he missed it. Who's out? Eric Tice is out. He's our starting power forward. He's not a huge scorer, but the dude rebounds like a monster. So right here's our injury. 6 rebounds a game, 7 points a game, 43% field goal percentage, 24.5 minutes a game. He's out. Started 33 games for us. Broken hand, out a month. That's essentially the season. So Tice is out. Chris says karma game. We had, 12 injuries this year? I mean, they were way more prevalent in November and December. They sort of showed up in the other months, and then boom, you lose a starter for the tournament. It's messed up. Big boy showing out in the tournament, that's right. So yeah, so here we go. UNC versus the Zoo. This is Cards new team versus Cards old team. What do they got? Excuse me. Can I see who they got? Let's scroll down and see how many of these players there are players. John Bailey, definitely one of ours. Kareem Johnson, did we recruit him? Oh, these names, Ronaldo Branch, I'm pretty sure we brought him in. Those are the only 3 names I sort of even recognize at all. So maybe this is just the computer living off our legacy at this point. John Bailey was a good one, right? Bucket getter. Number 6 nationally. All right. So we do have a storyline. That is accurate. Our past versus our present. The Tar Heels against the Tigers. The ACC. The Blue Bloods from the ACC facing off against the Zoo. The up-and-coming scrappy team from the SEC that we had a huge hand in building. Although the AI has done a very good job of rounding that team out since we left. Let's see, baby. Who is going to the Final Four? Is it the Tigers or is it the Tar Heels? What do we got? What do we got? All right, have we already played the other games? No. Yes, we have already played the other games. This is straight up North Carolina and Missouri. Get it done on the hardwood, folks. Where you at? Boom! Boom! Oh my God. I mean, I hate to embarrass my boys like that, but that is the difference in between what happens when you recruit with a budget that only allows you one single regional report in the Great Plains and what happens when you recruit with a nationwide budget. I mean, that's the difference. It's huge. It's huge. So Final Four. Final Four. Let's take a look at what happened in the entire tournament. In Boston, obviously that was the region that we were in. Looks pretty chalk all the way across Missouri with a slight upset against VCU, but North Carolina moves on. They're the one. In Columbus, Duke, the one, lost to Michigan. In Michigan, upsets Wichita State, upsets St. Mary's, Weber State over Wisconsin, the 15 over a 2. So, insanity in Columbus. And like, how sad were the people in Columbus when they had to watch Michigan go on to the Final Four? Right? Like, people in Columbus, I don't know if y'all have heard, there's a thing about some college team based in Columbus, Ohio, that hates Michigan. They had to sit there and watch the 9th-seeded Michigan Wolverines. This is the only 9-seed in the history of college basketball that ever competed to go to the Final Four and got booed during the tournament. Because you know an NCAA tournament crowd loves an underdog. Michigan, first ones, 9-seed, first ever 9-seed to get booed on their way to the Final Four. But they made it. In Nashville, it's Kansas. Stanford upset Kansas. And then they beat IU. Arkansas over Butler, the 2-seed, bounced by the Arkansas Razorbacks. So Stanford moving on. And in Boise, UCLA was a 1. They got beat by Nevada. So then Nevada... and Elon! Where's Elon coming from? Oh my goodness. Everything is crazy except for us. Everything's crazy except for us. That's right, Triple Kelly. Missouri should have raised my budget. I asked them over and over. I wanted to make Missouri into what we're now doing at North Carolina, and they would not do it. I tried repeatedly. It's so frustrating when they won't work with you. But they wouldn't work with us. So here we go. I mean, we're a 1 seed. We're the obvious favorite at this point. We got Stanford, Elon, and Michigan as the other teams in the Final Four. I didn't think we were the favorite. But now we look like the favorite. Elon's out of North Carolina. That's amazing. I had no idea. And, of course, we got a team incident. And this is definitely LOE and Michael Wall. I'll deal with this, but I'm very, very tempted to kick LOE off the team after this championship run is over. Yeah, they don't care for each other, obviously. All right, so somebody is going to play Stanford. Elon's out. Is it going to be Michigan or North Carolina that plays Stanford in the final? Come on, baby. Come on. We got this. Michigan and North Carolina. Oh! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get them by 5 points. Marshall Thomas, Michael Wall, and Ashley Dieter. Getting it done. It is the championship game. We had one championship game in the old stream. We actually played the game out. I lost it. I will never make that mistake again. This is getting simmed right now. So, here we go. Stanford, North Carolina. All the marbles. Monday, April 3rd, 2035. Get it warmed up, baby. Get it warmed up. Let's get hyped. Stanford, North Carolina, for all the marbles. Who's hanging a banner? Who's hanging a banner? Bring it home. Bring it home, Marshall Thomas. Bring it home, Ashley Dieter. Michael Wall. Y'all got this, baby. Y'all got this. I got the scissors. Whoa. Look at this. I got them. Let's do it. Let's go. North Carolina and Stanford. The Tar Heels and the Cardinal in the Final Four in the championship game. 2035. April 3, 2035. Boom! We just won the national championship game by 30 points. Boom! Oh, that is how you do it. This is how we do it. Oh, my word. Like, you can't even, like, I can get excited about it, but I can't lose my mind. It wasn't even a game. We beat them by 20 in the first half. We blew them out. Blew them out. Get out of here. Blew them out. Get out of here. 87-60 in the national championship game. The North Carolina Tar Heels. And folks, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I've been streaming this game for well over a year. We've probably done 60, 75 episodes. That's our first national championship live on stream. You guys have seen every second of this save, everything I've done, everything I did to get here. And there it is, and it feels good. And Chris says time to move on. He already wants to design a new graphic. Well, it feels good, guys. It feels good. We did that without a starter. We lost a starter in the ACC tournament there. Feels good. We actually shot kind of poorly. 23% from 3. But over 50% from the field. Look at this. 10 turnovers to 27 turnovers. Like, that's what the zone does. That's what the press does. They beat us slightly in rebounding. But, I mean, the turnovers are clearly the story of the game there. So, whew. Kid for Life donating stuff. I don't even know what it means. But I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the donations. The beer does taste better. I'm enjoying the win. I'm enjoying everything. But the first national championship of the stream. Woo! Sometimes I post that stuff in Discord and I feel like people think it's rigged or something. Like, it's not. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. And that's how, like I said, you want to that right there was the philosophies. We didn't have that safety valve player. We didn't have a Sarath Vaca, so we couldn't go undefeated. Nothing was guaranteed. But the odds were certainly in our favor. Yeah, buddy, it's got to be like 4:30, 5 o'clock your time, so go to sleep. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you staying and seeing the win. Let's check out the awards overall. Marshall Thomas, the most outstanding player. Your boy, Coach Cards, the coach of the year. That's right. I know, like, there's a lot of times I've been screwed out of that award, but I'll take it after that season. All right, nothing on the first team All-Americans. Michael Wall is a second team All-American. Rusty Jack. That's a very interesting name. Check out these ACC awards. So, second team ACC guys. Rusty Jack in there again, along with Brian Joyner. On the first team, Michael Wall and Marshall Thomas. So, we had three all-conference players. And then individually, nothing going on over here. Bobby Pettaway taking a lot of awards, but your boy Coach Cards, Coach of the Year in the ACC, Coach of the Year in the entire association, whatever you call it. We're everywhere, baby. Defense travels. Chuck Exotic has got it exactly right. Defense travels. Full court press, high defensive intensity, 1-2-2 zone in the half court. Like, they don't know what to do with us. They got no idea. And that's why we're hanging banners. We're holding trophies. You're etching North Carolina and maybe even a little Cardinal signature in there. Yeah, I mean, you never know. Well, I think you can ask for something special if you win a national championship, right? Let's see. Who wants to hire us? A little bit of everybody. IU. Wisconsin. That's some good ones. Time to go to Duke. How about no? That's not happening. We might go to a different Kentucky available on probation. Losers. We might go to a different school eventually and save, but we're going to enjoy ourselves at the top here for a few years. Oh, yeah, Georgetown was available. That's a good one. Problem is, like, this kind of setup, like, you can do this at any of these big schools in 3 or 4 years. So, like, Georgetown would be the exact same story 3 or 4 years from now. We'll either stay, we'll stay here until we decide to go to a tiny school, basically. Check out the staff hiring. I think we can just finish in advance. Yeah, well, not only did Kentucky suck, but they're also on probation. That's like the double whammy of ha 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 ha. Right? Like, I'll love it more than anything. Yeah, I could do a service academy. CCR is an IU fan. Love to hear it. Anybody that has a strong distaste for the University of Kentucky is on my good list. So, you know, you can be from wherever you like. You're an Auburn basketball fan. That's great. You hate Kentucky. Cool. I'm with you. All right, let's check out. What do we want to petition the board for? Facilities. $85-92. Oh, you thought we were doing damage with the 85 prestige. What's going to happen when we're 92? Nah, I'm not doing ECU. I don't like purple. Request approved. So we got the facilities straight to A. 92 prestige, A facilities, $485,000 in the budget. I might never leave. Isn't Army the only team eligible for every national championship who's never won? I have no idea. That's a wonderful question. I'm sure that like spans out a lot of different ways, and I just can't answer it because I have no idea, to be 1,000% honest. So, lest we forget. We didn't lose anybody, and the guys we're bringing in are better. So, while maybe I should cut Michael Eloy, I kind of hope he transfers. I hope Michael Wall doesn't transfer. But that Eloy Michael Wall issue is the only thing we really have to worry about. And, you know, even if Michael Wall transferred, I mean, we still have Shea Thornton. I would rather have Michael Wall, but Shea Thornton is solid all on his own. All right, let's see what we got here. Excuse me very much. 4 scholarships open. The class that we brought in, they've ranked number 10 because they are insane. You get a lot of credit for just number of recruits on this sort of thing. So that's why we're getting a little bit penalized here, but all good. Let's buy these reports. Your budget's $125,000. It makes me cry. So yeah, I mean, we just go Premium National, Premium American East. That's $110,000. I mean, we got so much more money. I mean, we could grab, you know, like the Southeast Premium Report. You know, whatever. Doesn't really make a huge difference. Don't need it. Don't not need it. And it's just a way to spend money, I suppose. Trip Kelly says just sack championships until they forget all about Dean Smith and Roy Williams. It's a possibility. Oh, what is this? Where the hell is Ashley Dieter? So everybody transferred. Not only we lost Eloy, we lost Michael Wall, and we lost Ashley Dieter. Are you flipping kidding me? And Craig Edwards. So Eloy and Wall was understood. Dieter and Craig Edwards, like, what are you talking about? Since when did you not like your teammates? Ashley Dieter left. Why? Understand Eloy and Wall. Craig Edwards, I don't necessarily understand that either, but I really don't care. Alright, so that's kind of brutal. We mentioned we didn't think we were going to lose anybody. We ended up losing 2 starters and an extremely significant sub. So, yikes. We can at least check out the transfers after that. Yeah, that's a huge oof. Yeah, no interest in these guys. Alright. So, I mean, we're on the verge of a dynasty, but all the players hated each other for whatever reason. And not like, it couldn't just be one that left. They all had to leave. And then they had to drag 2 or 3 other players out the door with them. So, like, I don't... Yeah, exactly, Axe. That's exactly what I'm asking. If Eloy left, why did Michael Wall also have to leave? No idea. But, you know, I think it goes back to what somebody was saying earlier about the AI, you know, sort of writing its own little narrative. So, I mean, we've got to deal with some controversy, right? There's got to be some difficulty. We can't just dominate everything. So, why not? Why not? Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Let's get to summer travel. We'll come back, look at the team that we got. I'll have to call it off. There's no way I can do 2 seasons tonight. Indy, go ahead and do everything. What a terrible transfer out. I don't think I've ever had 4 players transfer out. I even looked at that like halfway through the season, and I thought I only had like 1, maybe 2 frowny faces. So I don't know where that came from at all. Especially Ashley Dieter. That's the one that pisses me off. Because he was a starter, he was a very important player, and he just bailed on us. So now we're completely reliant on Kevin Harris, this freshman. And then we've got Brian Joyner, and then we have no other guards because we lost 2 point guards in that nonsense. But look at our big guys. Not only is Eric Tice up to 4.5 stars, Jarrett Medley, the guy we brought in, 5-star player. Bucket getter. Oh my God. Oh my God. So his scoring is a 9, his inside shooting is a 10, and he has the bucket getter attribute. This dude could average over 25 a game. I swear to you he could. He's also got the cleanup attribute just for good measure, I suppose. So if you left schools, you could have transferred your old guys. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I didn't need to. I'd rather have my recruits. Jarrett Medley. This is going to be one of the best inside scorers I've ever had. Because, that inside shooting is always such an advantage. When you pair it up with the scoring attribute, it starts to get scary. But when you put the bucket getter on top of that, this is going to be nuts. Let me go ahead before we ever... No. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Oh, yeah. He was a top 10 player. He's one and done. Yep. One and done for sure. Strategy. Let's go ahead and favor inside and make sure that we save that before we get any further. Yeah. CCR headed to bed. The stream's essentially over. I'm going to take a look through the other players, see if there's any attributes, anything interesting. But that center is obviously going to be what we build this team around for this year, and we're going to have to reset for next year. We already had 4 scholarships, and then we had 4 more players transfer out, so we're essentially rebuilding again. Kevin Harris, he'll be here, in theory. Joyner is a senior. Thornton a senior. Walk on. Tice a senior. Nick Rogers will be here. And then we got some centers that'll be here. But, first of all, we just won a national championship. Second of all, we're still relatively lacking depth and subject to weirdness like what we had last year, but we're still ranked number 1. So like this team, I'm just looking at it for a moment. We severely lack depth at the guard and small forward position. Maybe we should even go heavy inside. But I am pretty sure that this team can once again... you saw Marshall Thomas was the most outstanding player of the Final Four last year. There's no way that he's getting on the court. He's going to be a third man this year. Maybe I play him at power forward. In the most unlikely of situations, he gets to start at power forward. There's no way he starts over Jarrett Medley. No way. So... I don't know. I mean, you rebuild, you reload. It is what it is, guys. Like, we won our first national championship of the stream tonight. Let's not let some transfers get us down. This is still a heck of a team. Still extremely dangerous. And not going anywhere. So, guys, I asked Chris, I'm like, you think people will watch a stream at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night? He said, probably not. So I know we got up to 10, 12, 15 viewers. Thanks so much. I had an absolute blast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, we beat on some teams. We sent some losers out of North Carolina. Nobody coming into the Dean Dome. And eventually, we hung the first banner of the stream. Y'all saw it right here live. For those of you catching it later on YouTube, you didn't see it live, but it happened. It was real. It was good, and it was real good. So I'll call it there. Thank y'all for stopping by. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you're jumping in Discord. Make sure you're hitting me up if y'all got questions or comments or whatever. And thank y'all so much. Catch you next time.